What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Go With The Flow podcast. I'm Brandon Bird.
I'm Jasper Reid. My bad.
That's what happens on these Zoom podcasts. It's hard to get it coordinated. But we're gonna keep that in there. We're just being real. That's what happens. But yeah,
we got a special guest. We got Jasper in the building today.
as y'all can see.
Yeah, I'm sure you can tell from the title, but we got a lot of music to talk about. So we thought bring another expert.
Facts.
To come discuss with us.
So someone I've been talking music with for a long time. One of the main people that if there's another big release, I go to this man for his opinions on it, and someone I very much enjoy talking music with. So we thought we'd bring him on the podcast for the music episode. The little 2020 wrap up, just to give our thoughts on all the music that came out this year. And yeah, so I guess I'll start off with this. How's y'all's break been so far? I haven't talked to y'all a lot since break started, but how's it been for y'all?
Go ahead, Jasper, you go first.
It's been nice. What I find to be weird is that I'm sitting at the same chair looking at the same computer screen that I would be during Zoom, but there's just something so different about not having to worry about all of my teachers and all of my classes or college applications. Everything's the same room, same chair, same computer, but everything's better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm in the classroom right now, technically.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Chris, how you doing during this break? How's your break been?
I've been definitely chilling. I have not been worrying about school at all. I know I actually have some stuff I still need to do before the end of the semester. Make sure those grades are as high as they can be. But I've been taking my time, relaxing, watching Netflix, enjoying it so far. So,
as you should. I just take a little time off. But
I miss you.
Break's been all right. I've honestly really just been chilling, doing absolutely nothing. I've been thinking about college applications a little bit because I still have a bunch to do. Yeah, I have some. I think I have two due January 1st. So gotta get on those. Yeah, it's bad. But I'm gonna give it a little shout out to my outside of school college counselor, Robin. I don't know if we should give a real shout out because I don't know if she wants to be shouted out, but I just gotta give her a shout out because she's been keeping me on track, reminding me that I still have applications to do that I have to get on. So shout out to Robin for keeping me on track, because without her, I would have forgot and just done nothing this break. But senior year, we don't get any breaks right now. No breaks. So
really though, I took the Saturday after school ended to do nothing, but then that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I was doing so many applications, just churning out words.
Yep. It's not a good time.
For those of you who are not seniors yet, it's the why X school essays that are going to kill you, right? Everything else is easy, but the why. I don't want to go to NY. I want to go to New York. I don't want to go to NYU. I have no reason why I want to go to your school over anything else, but I'll write 400 words about it.
And you have to pretend you know stuff about the school. It's like,
oh, you got to get a template, I'm telling you, because for me, I base it on the major. So I just find I basically just say I want to write on their newspaper about sports every single time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretending like every other school I'm applying to doesn't also have a newspaper I can write for, and say I want to do stuff for the radio station or something. And then other than that, it's just me trying to explain to them why their school's sports program and their journalism program is so much better than all the other ones, and only one of them I actually really want to go to. It's real weird, bro. This whole process is just manipulating schools into thinking you like them more than you do.
But then on the other hand, they're manipulating all of us to pay exorbitant amounts of money. So we're all just manipulating each other, and
it's facts.
I think there's some poetry to that.
Toxic, but
it's a toxic relationship, and we know it's happening, but we just keep doing it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But over this break, what's up? Oh,
so
no, facts.
I guess donate the player at the game. It is what it is. But
facts.
Yeah, it is what it is, and we're gonna get through it. We're almost done, sort of. Hopefully, maybe we'll see. I don't know, but we're getting there. We're getting there. And one thing that has been making a lot of news over the break has been the release of Playboi Carti's Whole Lotta Red after 2.5 years of making us wait for it. And we have a lot to talk about today, so we got to keep this a little bit short. But I just wanted I don't know, did you want to anyone else want to give their thoughts real quick if you have any, and I'll give mine after y'all, I guess.
I didn't listen to it. I couldn't make it through. Not necessarily that I'm not a fan of Playboi Carti's music. However, it just wasn't doing anything for me. And that specific night, I was tired, went to bed. Don't regret my choice.
Yeah, so I'm not a big Playboi Carti fan. I mean, I like some of his songs. I'm not like a big fan, I guess. But I know that this album was so hyped up for so long, and the expectations were so high, and I don't know how much of it I ended up finishing. I probably finished like half the songs, but it wasn't an enjoyable experience for me, man. It was like a lot of times I was just like, what is going on here? Like,
Yeah.
what am I listening to? It wasn't doing it for me either, man. I gotta give Jasper on that one.
I feel you, and I'm gonna be real. Like the expectations for this album were really high, and we've been waiting for so long. Like I am a pretty big Carti fan. I've been a fan for, I guess, like three or 4 years now, and I've definitely been this man Carti's been playing with our emotions for 2.5 years. So I understand why people were excited for it. But honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really have high expectations for it. I'm not, because like this is one thing I don't really understand about all the slander that it's getting. What did people expect? Like we knew that Carti was kind of going in this direction. I mean, we heard his feature on that Drake album, Pain 1993. That was garbage. So he knew he was coming with that garbage. And he had the other song, At Me, whatever it was called. Like that song was trash. So we knew it was coming. So I think because I had those low expectations, and I was just so excited I was so ready for waiting for a Whole Lot of Red to be over. I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna try to enjoy this. And I kind of did. I'm not gonna lie. I like most of it is pretty garbage, but like I understand where he was going with it, and I kind of like some of the songs. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the songs we got were leaks that had previously come out, it was great to see those on the album. And there's some other decent songs on there. I mean, like I'm trying to find the decent songs out of the not good ones, but
And you're struggling.
I'm struggling right now. But I honestly, I really like Sky. I like Sky. I like New Neon was a leak. That leak has been fire. Slayer was cool. Like there are a bunch of cool songs that I feel like it's kind of taking me a lot of energy to force myself to like them. But you know what? I'm kind of enjoying it, even if it's a little bit forced. I kind of like it. I don't understand what people expected, so I don't know. It's really just there. We're doing a lot of top tens today. It's definitely not gonna be in my top tens, but you know what? I'm glad we got it this year. I'm just glad it finally came out. We can stop waiting for it. That's what I'm happy about. But I mean, in general, how did y'all feel about this year in music? Like because a lot of music came out. I know Jasper and we're talking a lot, when we were able to be in school about, all the possibilities of stuff that could have came out. I remember in January in the cafe talking to Jasper about the Kendrick Lamar album coming out soon. Never came out. But there was some good stuff that came out this year. And how did y'all feel about it?
So minus all of the very sad moments, such as the deaths of countless artists, three major artists between December of last year into this year. With those aside, I actually appreciated. I thought about it. I think the Kendricks of the world, the Drakes, the J. Cole's not dropping made this year substantially better because it let smaller artists shine through. It let Griselda drop a host of outstanding projects that otherwise we might not have listened to. It let people like Lil Baby really enter the spotlight because these bigger artists weren't dropping. And I think that's what the year was. It was the year for smaller artists to make their way onto the center stage. And that was really cool. And there was a lot of different newer music that a lot of us were introduced to this year.
True.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, especially because I feel like there's some artists, like some young up and coming rappers, especially that we kind of we got to see them grow a little bit, and we got to see their music go from whatever they're making like at the beginning of their career to now that they are already a bigger artist. Then kind of see them evolve and mature a little bit in their music. And I mean, I'll talk about these guys more because these are some of the people I'm talking about for like best albums of the year. But I think we gotta see a lot of people kind of come into their own with some really good stuff this year. So, and then also I gotta mention, since we're talking about albums that have been anticipated, our Return on the Take dropping at the beginning of the
Yes,
year was
sir.
great. I
Yes,
remember
sir.
how excited I was walking into school. And I was like, wow, it's finally here.
Was that like the last week before everything shut down too?
Close
That was
to
March
it. I don't know
6th.
exactly.
March
It
6th, and
was?
then the
It was like that.
deluxe came out the day that we found out the last day we were at school. That's when the deluxe came out.
Jeez, 13th, yeah.
Crazy times. Crazy.
A day we'll never forget. Right?
I will never forget that day ever. That was craziness. But I mean, we could spend a whole episode talking about this year and all its craziness. Maybe we should. I don't know. But that would be like a 2 hour episode, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I mean, this episode we're gonna go through the music that we really enjoyed this year, some artists that we thought, we think are on the rise, some that, rose this year, had great years. But I think we're gonna start with going over doing like because everyone does this every year, the Spotify rap type thing. We go through all of our stats and let y'all know what we listened to this year, maybe put y'all onto some stuff. So yeah, how should we go about this?
I don't think Spotify has the albums, like the top 5 albums that I listen to the most. So I don't know if we can. I mean, I'll mention the ones, I guess, but I
Okay.
don't think it has that.
Yeah, just go what you think. Because both Brandon and I have downloaded Last FM, which really cool way to track your music, what you listen to, and they tell you your albums, but maybe just go with what you think they were.
Shout out to Last FM. Great app. You also download it if you
Last
want
of
to
them.
track your music listening. They should sponsor us. If Last FM, if you see this, sponsor us for give a little sponsorship. We're giving you a free shout out, but it's actually a great app. I downloaded it late December of last year. I've used it ever since to track all my music. So that's what I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using a combination of Apple Music and Last FM. So we're just saying, again, they're not paying us. We're just saying. We are just saying.
They could pay us if they wanted to.
They could. Hey, I'm down for that. I'm down for a little sponsorship.
But guess gotta go first.
True. Guess first.
Okay, fine. All right. This year, I ended up with approximately 80,000 minutes listened,
Wow.
which is on average for many of my years, which I thought to be interesting. I thought it was going to go up substantially in quarantine, but I guess not. But yeah, 80,000 minutes.
I'm just gonna search that up so I can calculate that because Apple Music does hours.
In
So
hours.
All right,
yeah.
so I'll go next, I guess. That's a ton. I had 33,000 minutes, which I was surprised because this was less than I had last year. So I don't know. I think maybe it's just because I listen to music a lot, like while I'm driving to school or something. But I had 33,000. I think I had like 36,000 last year. I'm trying to find it, but it was less than last year. So
Interesting. Got you. All right. Well, I'll find the calculations later because I'm actually interested to see
It ended
how
up
we
with
compare.
1,300 hours. 1,300 hours, I think
Okay.
was the math.
Okay. All right. Well, I listened to 1,915 hours. Next thing we're gonna go through how many artists we listen to. Does Spotify have that? It does? Okay.
Not how many artists Last FM does.
I think it does, right? Oh wait, maybe it's new artists.
Yeah, it's new artists because for me, I listened to 333 new artists, but my total for the year was 781 different artists based off of Last FM compared to my Spotify Wrapped.
Okay. All right. Well,
Spotify doesn't have a total artists. I have 224 new artists, but I don't know, man. Total
That's
artist.
a lot of that's a lot of new artists. That's a lot of new artists.
It was more than I expected, actually. But
Well, Apple Music says I've listened to 1,131 different artists this year, so it's hard to tell what how that matches up. But yeah. Okay, so our top 5 most listened to songs this year. I know Spotify has that.
yeah,
I'm interested. Jasper and I talked about this a little bit. I'm interested to see what y'all's top 5 most listened to songs this year is. So let's see.
For both the top 5 most listened to songs, top 5 artists, and top 5 albums, none of them actually came out this year for me, which I found to be kind of interesting. Like none of the new music really made that kind of impact. So my top 5 tracks of the year, and number 1, I have Trouble on Central by Buddy, which is great singing, really pleasant song to listen to. You just kind of get lost in those words. Absolutely gorgeous. Second place, I got For My People by Joey. I don't know what the rules are. This is an Xbox podcast, but Joey Bad, money sign. After that, DNA by Kendrick Lamar. Not my favorite Kendrick song, but it was one of my go-to hype songs when sports were still happening. So that ran up the numbers there. Number 4, sometimes you get a little sappy. Therefore, I listened to Radio by Lana Del Rey. Once again, absolutely beautiful. And wrapping out my top 5, I have Charles de Gaulle to JFK by Boz.
Yeah, this is very different than Jasper's. Well, my top 5. So my first one was Flex. That was Polo G featuring Juice WRLD from the Polo G album. My second one was Martin and Gina, also from the Polo G album. So there you go. My third was Same Thing, Lil Baby. I love that song.
That's a fire song.
Yeah, and then Out of Love, Lil Tecca, of course.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then IDK, also Lil Tecca, was number 5.
Hey, so, did IDK come out this year?
Yeah, that was crazy. February. I think it was February 7th on James' birthday. But.
Facts. That feels like forever ago. That's insane. All right. Well, at number 1 for my most listened to songs this year is Hatchback by Kuchais. I think that's how you say his name. I don't know, but he's honestly, he started out like everyone kind of knew him because he was a Carti clone, and that's kind of how he blew up. But Hatchback, I love that song so much. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's such a vibe. It gets me hype. It makes me happy. I don't know. It's just a fire song. My second most listened to song this year is called Tweaking Together by BK the Rula, who's another upcoming artist, and she's fire. If y'all don't know about her, listen to her. She's fire. That song is just, I don't know. It's a vibe. Like Hatchback, it can get you hype. It's a cool chill song. It's fire. My third most listened to song is called Slime World by Young Manny, another upcoming DMV artist who I heard about the Rico Nasty. He's fire, and that song is just addicting. Like if y'all listen to it, y'all know what I mean. It just, the melody's fire. He takes a little interpolation of Stevie Wonder's Isn't She Lovely. It's a great song. My fourth song is a little more mainstream. It's Laugh Now Cry Later by Drake. I mean, that's just it's what are the great songs of the year? You know, it's just great vibes. You know what I mean? Just great vibes. And then my fifth most listened to song this year is Silly Watch by Lil Uzi Vert. You know, I'm a big Lil Uzi fan, and that song is so hype. That the song goes crazy. So yeah, that's my top five. So the next category we're gonna go through is our top 5 artists of the year. So Jasper, you want to start us off?
Brandon, remember we were talking about this a couple days ago, and I told you that when I tell you my top 5, you are not going to be surprised in the slightest.
Yeah.
At number 1, I have Kendrick Lamar. Number 2, Kanye West. Number 3, Anderson .Paak. Number 4, Lil Wayne. Number 5, Denzel Curry.
Not one surprised me. Not one.
Not one surprised
one. Yeah.
Those are without a doubt my 5 favorite artists. They're in top 5, probably in the order that I like them.
Mine's not too surprising either. I have number 1, I have Lil Tecca. Number 2, I have Polo G. Number 3, I have Roddy Ricch. Number 4, I have A Boogie. And number 5, I have Lil Baby. So honestly, the only one I'm surprised a little bit about is that A Boogie's above Lil Baby.
Mm-hmm.
That did not make sense.
W list. I mess with that list. All those artists are fire. So I mess with that. And I don't know. I want to say that just like Jasper said, you probably won't be surprised, but one might surprise you. I don't know. We'll see. But my top 5 artists of the year are in this order. Kanye West, which we might have to do a whole episode on Kanye West so I can explain myself because I know y'all are gonna be mad at me. But number 1 is Kanye West. Number 2 is Lil Uzi Vert. He dropped a Eternal Take this year. I was listening to that a lot. Number 3, J. Cole. Love J. Cole. Number 4, Kendrick Lamar. Surprised he's not a little bit higher, but I don't know. He didn't release anything this year. So Kendrick Lamar. And number 5, this one might surprise you, Jasper, but Logic. Logic is my number 5, which is hilarious. But he's up there. Hey, Logic released a fire album this year, and I just, Logic's fire, bro. Like, he's corny, yes. Fire also, yes. So don't be discouraged don't be discouraged to listen to Logic just because people call him corny. That man is still fire. So any surprises in there, Jasper?
Yes, for how much crap you gave Logic all the way up until the pandemic started, the fact that he's in your top 5 shows a lack of morals and dedication. If you're gonna crap on this guy, see it through.
I'm sorry. I mean, there was a lot to make fun of.
I do agree with you.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the album was outstanding. I absolutely loved it. The first track on there, one of my favorite tracks of the year. It's not on my list, but outstanding. Would strongly recommend it.
Yeah. Okay. Logic getting a little bit of love instead of slander. Love to see that. But does Spotify do top 5 albums? Does it do that?
Chris, you're just gonna have to
guess. Wing it, but
all right, guess first once again.
All right. Once again, you're not gonna catch a single surprise except for maybe number 5. Number 1, To Pimp a Butterfly, greatest album of all time. Of course, it'd be number 1. Number 2, it's the title of an album. I don't know the rules for XPLOS. Damn by Kendrick Lamar. Once again, outstanding album.
That's fine.
In my opinion, it was overrated when it came out. Then it became overhated.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm trying to correct that by listening to the crap out of it. After that, All American Badass by Joey Badass.
Mm-hmm.
After that, Malibu by Anderson .Paak. I mean, immaculate vibes. And less immaculate vibes after that, Blonde by Frank Ocean. Sometimes you're just down bad.
She's going through it. Hey, 2020, I don't blame anyone for listening to Blonde. It's been a tough year. I don't blame y'all. So, yeah. All right. So at number 1, I have Eternal Take. I love this album. I mean, I've been a Lil Uzi Vert fan for years. This album was no different from his past albums. It was straight fire. So I listened to that a lot this year. My second most listened to album might be a little bit surprising. It's called Love and Compromise by Mahalia, who's an R&B artist that I found at the end of last year because people were saying that her album was really good. And it didn't make it on my top 10 albums list of 2019 because I listened to it so late in the year, but I've been listening to it so much this year and I absolutely love it. I don't know how to explain it, but it's such good vibes. It gives you everything. It gives you chill songs. It gives you hype songs, everything. So number 3 on my list is To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar. Probably the greatest album of all time, in my opinion. I agree with Jasper. Number 4 is Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial by Roddy Ricch, released late in 2019. Fire album. If you haven't listened to it, do that. And number 5 is Late Registration by Kanye West.
There he is.
You knew a Kanye West album was coming, and we might have to have Jasper back on for a later podcast episode because I do want to have a discussion of what's Kanye's best album, and I think Late Registration is up there for me. So I just listened to that a lot this year.
Chris, what do you think your top 5 albums would be?
Yeah, like I said, I don't really know. But an estimation, I'm guessing number 1 is probably Virgo World. You don't know about Tekka. I swear to God, I think it was like 3 or 4 songs on the album that were not on my playlist, which I was just listening to over and over again. So, I'm guessing that was number one. Two, I'm gonna say the GOAT, Polo G. I listen to that a ton. I mean, I love that album a lot. That was a great album for me. A bunch of the songs on there were on my playlist too. Number three, I have Eternal Take. I mean, like Brandon said, it was really good. It's just a bunch of fun songs on there.
Exactly.
So that was more for the good vibes before quarantine, but still, I would say that was up there. Number four, I'm gonna say is probably Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial, other album that I loved. I mean, the crazy thing about that album is that it was released in December of 2019, and then all of a sudden in like February and March it like blew up again. So I don't know, but yeah, that album was a lot of fun. Ton of good songs on there, and also I just love how the transitions. I just love that. And then number five, I was less sure about, but it might have been Legends Never Die, the Juice album. And I mean, I was really looking on my top 100 songs or whatever of the year and just seeing what albums showed up the most. So it might have been that. It also might have been the Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. One of the two was probably the fifth one. But yeah.
Got you. All right. I mean, now I guess we'll get into the award. Well, not yet. Not the award section yet. But
list season.
What's up? Yeah, list season. But yeah, so we're gonna start with our top 10 songs of the year. I spent so much time refining this list, and even right before we started recording, I was moving songs around. This was tough. This was tough. I had to get it right. I had to. So I think what we're gonna do, and let me know if y'all have any suggestions for what we should do. But like, are we gonna go quickly through our 10 through 5 and then spend more time on our 5 through 1, or should we just spend equal time on all of them?
I say we rapid fire like 10 to 6 and then do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, one at a time.
Okay. So
right, I'll start off again. My 10th favorite song of the year was LA Times by Nana featuring Reason. Outstanding story. You just get drawn in. It's 4.5 minutes long. It feels like you're reading a book. Outstanding storytelling song. At 9th place, I got Woodlawn by Amine. I mean, just such a fun track, tight flows, great instrumental, absolute pleasure to listen to. Coming at 8, Diet by Denzel Curry, produced by Kenny Beats.
Yes, sir.
Not the most polished song, but a lot of fun to listen to, just has you bouncing up and down in your chair. After that, in 7th, Out of Sight by Run the Jewels featuring 2 Chainz. Super quick, like verses going back to back, not much of a chorus, lots of bars getting traded, 2 Chainz delivering an outstanding guest verse. Overall, just a great song, super fast paced, gets your energy up. And at 6th place, I have Can't Fight by Leon Lahavas off of her self-titled album. Absolute beautiful song. Just feels like you're being hugged.
I love that album so much.
Those are my 10 through 6 spots.
All right. So I will say, like Brandon, I was having a tough time ordering them exactly because I was changing. I still have 15 songs on here that are like still, I don't know. It was tough to order them, but I'm gonna say the top 10 that I enjoyed the most this year. It was probably 10. I have Chinatown from the Polo G album, which I actually didn't start listening to until like a few weeks after the album dropped. But then I remember I really liked that song. I don't know. I think it was a little upbeat. It was good vibes. I just listened to that in the car, so that was a lot of fun for me. 9, I Find My Way, which was the Baby. That was definitely my favorite song that he put out. That one, and the music video was really good too. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed that one a lot. At 8, I have IDK. Of course. I remember I was especially hyped up for that song to drop. I was waiting for a while for him to release that one. 7, I have Venetia. That was probably my favorite song off the Uzi album.
Yes, sir.
Another one, upbeat, lots of fun. 6, I've Miss Me, which I think was my favorite song from Tekka's album this year, and another one that it was just really good vibes every time I listened to it. I guess I had to have some positive music this year. So
Facts.
yeah.
Facts. Gotta have some positive music for this crazy year that we've been through. But yeah, all right. So I'll start with number 10. My number 10 song of the year is Why Would I Stop by Big Sean. I don't know if y'all listened to the Big Sean album, but that opener, like that got me so hyped. Like that's my go-to hype song, honestly. Why Would I Stop by Big Sean? It's just the beat, the bars, like how the beat evolves throughout the song, and then at the end it turns into this like beautiful singing part. It's just amazing. I love that. And then at number 9, I'm gonna go with a What's Poppin' remix by Jack Harlow. But
Yes, sir.
I honestly, I'm not that big of a. It's kind of surprising, but y'all gotta hear me out, okay? I'm not even that big of a Jack Harlow fan. He put out a pretty good album that we didn't talk about on the podcast because we didn't have time, but I thought it was pretty good. But really, what makes this song so great to me is the guest verses. I mean, all the verses, because I mean, the original What's Poppin' I thought was like very decent, but also very bland. Like I know a lot of people love that song, but the remix, Jack Harlow redoes his verse and absolutely kills it. The Baby has an insane verse. I know we don't really talk about Tory Lanez anymore because you know that man is wild, but his verse was crazy on that song. I'm not gonna lie.
He did not breathe once.
He didn't breathe once on that verse, and he was spitting bars. And Lil Wayne, honestly, like as much of a legend as he is, Lil Wayne had the worst verse on that song to me. I think what's up?
As a big Lil Wayne fan, I could not agree more. Not a big fan of how he was reusing bars. Like, shame, but I agree with you completely there.
Yeah, and I mean, I know I'm spending way too much time on the song, but the Baby and Tory Lanez's verse on that song were both like in contention for my top top feature verse of this year. I mean, I just love those verses so much. Okay, moving on. Number 8 of this year is Baby Pluto by Lil Uzi Vert. I mean, I'm just gonna keep mentioning it. I love Eternal Take, and I love intros that really get you hyped up for the rest of the album. And Baby Pluto does that. I mean, with like the beat dropping halfway through the album, you're just like, you're waiting. The anticipation is just building up, and then it just hits you, and then the energy goes crazy. And I think Lil Uzi did a great job on that song. Number 7, I'm gonna Go Crazy by Chris Brown and Young Thug. Honestly, if we really had a summer this year, this would have been the song of the summer. I mean, to me, it really felt like an In My Feelings by Drake Part 2, just with the good vibes, Young Thug killing his verse, Chris Brown with the beautiful vocals. Number 6 is Weird Fishes by Leon Havas, which is, I just love this album. And this is a cover of 2 Radiohead songs. And honestly, I'm not really that into Radiohead. I've listened to a couple of their songs, but I think like without even hearing those songs, Leon Havas just gives it so much. Like Jasper said about Can't Fight, it just sounds like a hug. You know what I mean? And the beginning being so soft, and then it going into that kind of like a harder rock, I don't know, rock section in the second half. It just sounded so epic to me. I just love that song. So that's my 10 through 6.
All right, so top 5 of the year. This was to me by far the hardest part of this whole prepping for this podcast.
Yeah, sir.
In 5th place, I have Good News by Mac Miller. Gorgeous, sad song, just so beautiful, brought me to tears. Just outstanding song, produced by Mac himself. I mean, very few songs encapsulate so much emotion in its 5-minute runtime, and outstanding track overall.
That song just hurts so much to hear. I mean, like it just like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like Mac Miller hoping for better times and saying that like people just want to hear all the good news. They don't want to hear about the struggle that people are going through, and just to like hear that after his passing, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Exactly.
So sad.
Exactly.
So great pick.
For my number 5, I had Emotionally Scarred. Yeah, so Lil Baby, I think he definitely was one of those guys who stepped up a lot this year, and his music got a lot better, and that was one of the songs that was my favorite. One of my favorites of his album. And yeah, I mean, it was definitely a good listen. That one's a little more chill, but I think that, I mean, it really shows just, I think, his evolution as an artist overall. But.
Facts. Fire song. I'll talk a little bit more about Lil Baby and that album, but definitely a fire song. My number 5, I went with something to Rap About by Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist. And overall, I love this album. Alfredo was a great album, one of my top albums of the year. And this is my favorite song off the album, just because, like, well, first of all, Alchemist went crazy with the beats. I mean, this beat just sounded so just like lush, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to hear it to understand. It just sounds so relaxing. And hearing Freddie Gibbs like do his thing, and like his flow matched the beat so well, and him spitting the hilarious bars that he spits. And then the Tyler the Creator verse, one of my favorite verses of the year. That man absolutely killed it. He added like so much to that track, just in his hilarious bars as well, the different flows that he uses, all of that. It's one of my favorite songs this year.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna be talking about Alfredo a lot today. I have it multiple times on my list.
Mm-hmm.
We'll definitely get there.
Mm-hmm.
For me in 4th, I have 5349, the last song off of Childish Gambino's album.
Fire.
Just such a powerful vocal performance over a beautiful song. It's just, in a sense, I know Miss Bond, 7th grade English teacher, would appreciate this, but the juxtaposition of the raw emotional verses and then the incredibly put together beautiful chorus just gives the song so much texture and kick, and it just is an absolute treat to listen to.
I love that song so much. That almost made it on my list of my top 10 songs of the year. And I just it just feels so powerful. Like, his vocals, he just goes so crazy on that song. I love that song. Anyway.
Yeah, my number 4 is very different. I love Lil Tecca. That was my favorite from him overall this year. It was, I mean, I love everything about it. You know, switched up the flows a little bit. For me, the melodies are usually what makes me enjoy this song more than anything. So anything with a catchy melody, that's fun to listen to, is gonna be my preference. So yeah, I love that song. That's my number 4.
Fire song. My number 4 of the year is The Beach by Giveon. Giveon is an artist that I just heard about this year because of the Drake feature, or the feature on the Drake song earlier this year, and he released a really good project this year. And I'm so glad that I found him. My brother low-key put me onto him. I heard this song first with him, and it's kind of the same way I would describe something to rap about. It sounds like you're on a beach, and it just sounds like you're vibing out on the beach. And his voice is just so I don't know how to explain it really, but you got to hear it. He has such a different voice from anyone else in R&B right now. It takes you on a ride. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what other way to explain it. It's just a great song. I love that song.
Yeah, following on the R&B trend, my top 3, the third place song of the year was Faith by The Weeknd. I think miles and away best song off the album. Just so eerie, and then that last verse before the outro is just something else to listen to, and really, really emotional, dark, scary, and incredible. So that's why Faith is my third top 3 song of the year.
Well, we're getting to songs that I've already mentioned, definitely, but my number 3, I had Martin and Gina. Polo G, you know, he got a little bit into the storytelling bag on this one, which is, he's another artist I thought improved a lot this year, and he kind of got some coming to his own. And so yeah, this was one of my favorite songs from that album. I love the whole album, but yeah, this song was definitely a highlight for me. It was always, it's just, you can't not sing along. It's one of those songs for me. So yeah, that's my number 3.
I got to listen to that album because I remember enjoying it a lot on first listen. I need to go back to it again. But my number 3 song of the year is "Thinking About You" by Tiana Major 9. Also an artist that I just kind of discovered this year. And she also put out a really great album. But this song just stood out so much to me because, and it's at this point it's becoming a trend. Like clearly I needed songs that would kind of take me away from reality and just kind of put me just like on the beach, like just chilling, just good vibes. It sounds like it sounds like a hug, or like you're just on the beach just dancing by yourself, just vibing. Like it has such tropical vibes that I just really needed this year, and I could not stop listening to it. So that's my number 3 song of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that comforting music definitely had a very special place in a lot of our hearts this year. You'll definitely see with my album of the year, or one of my albums of the year. On the exact opposite note, to me, my second favorite song of the year was 1985 by Freddie Gibbs, produced by The Alchemist. Um, you were talking about how Baby Pluto is an incredible track to open an album with, and I agree completely. But for me, 1985 did something else, because Freddie Gibbs is an incredible MC. I think everyone can agree with that. But this song, the guitar is what does it for me. It just fills your head with these melodic chords that are so powerful and filling, and just the production coupled with the incredible levitating flow that Gibbs brings just creates an amazing track to listen to and an outstanding introduction to what becomes an outstanding album.
My number 2 favorite song was another one that I already mentioned, Flex. It was the Juice WRLD and Polo G song, and yeah, this is another one, just a lot of fun for me. I guess they're talking about the comfort music. I guess for me, it was more of, I mean, the same effect, but I was just taking more upbeat songs, smile, forget about the stupid stuff that's going on. But yeah, that was one that was a lot of fun for me. And another one, every time I'm hearing it, I'm singing along. I'm like bobbing my head, all that. So yeah, Flex, my number 2 of the year.
For sure, for sure. My number 2 song of the year is "The Bigger Picture" by Lil Baby. I mean, I just feel like this song was, first of all, just shout out Lil Baby for, like Chris mentioned earlier, just like really evolving as an artist this year. And also shout out to him for tackling such a heavy topic. I know Lil Baby is not really the type of artist that I expected to tackle a topic like this. But this was made at the perfect time, during all of the outrage after the murder of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery. I guess this might have been a little bit before Breonna Taylor, but it was during that time when there were all those riots going on like across the country. And this song it gets me so hyped every time I hear it, because it reminds me of that time and just how insane our country is. And it's crazy that Lil Baby, he's not being such a lyrical rapper, could still get that point across. And like, just we don't go to Lil Baby for lyrics, but his lyrics were on point in this song, and he got everything across that I think he was trying to get across in the song, and I just love it.
He went at that head on too,
Yeah.
and also the album cover was really fire.
Yeah, didn't pull any punches. Like, really just put it all out there. So shout out to Lil Baby.
Yeah, he absolutely killed it with that track. It caught a lot of us off guard and made that song so incredibly powerful and beautiful at the same time. Sort of switching back towards the happy music trend that we were talking about. My top song of the year was about that relentless pursuit of money. One Way Flight by Benny Butcher featuring Freddie Gibbs.
Yes, sir. Fire.
Whether the line in the chorus, would you rather cry in that Toyota or that Maybach? And to me, the highlight of the song was Freddie Gibbs describing how he controls his girl's OnlyFans. It just shows how important it is to look for all opportunities to make money. And the song encapsulates that with a wonderful hook and incredible verses over a beautiful Hit Boy beat. It just brings so much excitement and energy to the table.
That song is in my top 20 for sure. I love that song so much. Yeah, like Freddie Gibbs coming in with that line about his computer work, talking about his girls OnlyFans, and he even has that the line that girl got sent home like the Clippers. Like
Yeah.
that killed me. I mean, that was also one of my favorite feature verses of the year, and I love that song so much.
My number one of the year has to be Same Thing, Lil Baby. This song was, I mean, I talked about the good vibes. This song was just the best, like, the best vibes for me. I mean, anytime I was listening to this song, it was like I couldn't, it was always putting a smile on my face. I was enjoying it. This one I was actually listening to, I think, right before we went on quarantine. So, but still, I played this song on repeat. Like I would listen. It was the type of thing where I would listen to it like multiple times in the same car ride. Like that. It was. I love that song so much, and yeah, the beat was great. Everything about it was great. I love it. Yeah, same
I
thing.
feel you, bro.
Definitely.
That song is great vibes. Great vibes for sure. I love that song. Well, my favorite song of this year has to be "Read My Mind" by Liam LaHavas. I mean, well, I'm gonna talk about that album a little bit more later, but I found about Liam LaHavas this year. So happy I did. I love that album, and this song, like, again, great vibes. Like every time I listen to it, it just makes me so happy. And like Chris said, I could listen to it more than once, like with I don't know, within a short amount of time. I'm putting that song on repeat. It makes me so happy. So I gotta love it. That's my favorite song of the year for sure. So yeah.
Leon LaHavas absolutely killed it this year.
Facts.
Such an incredible album.
If you haven't heard that album, please listen to it. But I guess we should go into the top 10 albums of the year. We might have to split this into two different parts for the episode. This is a long episode, but hey, there's a lot of music that came out this year that we got to get through.